This week's program has been made possible by BetMaster Partners, the innovative online sports betting platform made with love. Yeah. Alrighty then. It's come down to this. I've been doing these videos most every week all year long, and now this is it. My last show for 2020, and once I'm done, I've got 2 weeks worth of rest and alcohol waiting to keep me warm. So the sooner I get started, the sooner I get to drinking. So let's wrap up the year with news from Sweden, where they seem to be dead set on emulating the British gambling market. And my friends, that's not necessarily a good thing. Political powers there are pushing recommendations for the most strict advertising standards our industry has ever seen. Concerns over broadcast adverts in the country relating to online gambling, sports betting, and horse racing have led to the Gambling Market Inquiry, which was commissioned by the country's former Civil Affairs Minister and calls for tighter and tougher licensing requirements, not just for the operators, but for software providers as well, which, as luck would have it, would also bring in more revenue for the government in the form of licensing fees. Additionally, the inquiry asks for more consumer protections and measures to exclude unlicensed operators from the market. That doesn't sound so bad, right? But there are also recommendations to block ads, broadcast ads, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 p.m., plus a €500 per week deposit limit, recommendations that the European Gaming and Betting Association quickly condemned as jeopardizing the Swedish market. And while they acknowledge the need for operators to protect players in the country, concerns persist that deposit limits will only serve to push those same players to offshore, black market, unregulated websites. Making matters worse, and certainly leaving a bitter taste in some people's mouths, is the fact that the Swedish Consumer Affairs Agency recently sent warnings to its licensed operators, 13 of them, telling them about their obligation to provide players both balanced and equitable conditions. And what prompted this warning? What brought it to this? Were these operators somehow failing in their obligations? No. The agency just randomly picked 13 operators to piss off and sent them these warnings for no reason at all. And hey, that's how you build trust and relationships after all. And when we come back from the break, a story from America involving a 6-year-old child that's sure to blow your mind. All right, as Christmas closes in, remember that APCW member Intertops has specials to help you continue converting players, like their IC Wins promotion for Intertops Red Casino with a deposit bonus and free spins offer. You can follow the link below this video for details, or just visit affiliate.intertops.eu directly. Lastly, a story that left me speechless. Well, well, I was speechless at first, and then I started thinking about it, and it got me sort of pissed off, which admittedly isn't hard to do. And then suddenly I found my voice again. Imagine. This story took place in the United States and involves Apple. As a 6-year-old in Connecticut charged over $16,000 on his mother's credit card for in-app purchases, but not for gambling, my friends, for the game Sonic Forces. It seems Junior here was purchasing virtual gold rings because, I mean, they're virtual gold rings. You gotta buy them. Who wouldn't want virtual gold rings for $16,000 plus? Mom eventually saw the charges and reported them as fraud, not knowing her little angel was brutalizing her card. By the time she figured out what was going on and contacted Apple customer support, 2 months had passed. And here's where it gets interesting. Apple refused to reverse the charges, even knowing it was a 6-year-old. They told Mom it was her fault. Because buried within the game somewhere, there was a set of parental controls to prevent this sort of thing from happening, they said. And the fact that she wasn't aware of those controls and wasn't aware of what Junior was doing, well, that was no excuse. It gets even more interesting when you read the comments section of the website where this story appeared, as person after person after person blames the mother. Okay, now, I'm not here to lay blame on Apple, or the mom, or Junior for that matter, but I will leave you for the holidays with a question. What would have been the reactions from people and the media if that $16,000 had been spent on web-based poker or online casino games, not a Sonic game? And what company would be being dragged through the mud and called irresponsible if it was a gambling company instead of Apple? You know what would have been happening. It'd be all over CNN, it would be on Forbes, it would be on every mainstream media site that the evil online gambling operator took advantage of a child, and that's why we need to ban the activity. But because it's Apple and a Sonic game, this is just stuck on some website on the back of the web, and I bet you never even heard about it. That's right. So, God willing, I'm gonna go indulge myself in some alcoholic beverages. It's how I stay warm and get through the holidays. God willing, I'll survive. See you guys back here again next year with my same cheery, uplifting personality. So, the sooner I get started, the sooner I can get to drinking. That's how I stay warm for the holidays. So let's wrap it up. Concerns persist that deposit limits will only serve to push those customers to offshore, black market, unregulated. That's, yeah. Good thing I did it at the end and not the beginning, because a screw up at the beginning is like easy to fix. A screw up at the end, I have to go back to the beginning and start over again. So that's what I got going for me.